to yet another episode of The Drop, Hip Hop Uncensored. Can you be talking Tintin? Because you know I'm twice as nice. The rap game's Hip Hop Barbie in the building today. Oh my god, this is one of the biggest moments in history for myself personally. I have with me award-winning lyricist, producer, certified actor, P.O, lyricist of the century. Hello.
Hello, madam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. That's
Thank you so much for gracing me with your presence.
I appreciate you having me.
Like, I appreciate you coming because you came from Pretoria to the south.
Yeah, the south is far, you know what I mean? Shout out to the south, you know, we got so many people out here that are family. Shout out to the south, my south brothers and sisters. But yeah, I traveled a long way to be here to show love.
And I don't take it for granted.
I appreciate
this is one of those moments. I want to get to know you, right? Name one song that would describe your childhood.
A song, yeah. There's too many, but I'll just throw one out there. I know a place where we can carry on. You know, my brother introduced me to Bob Marley, my big brother. And, you know, that song really means a lot to me because when my family was moving from the Eastern Cape from Umtata to East London, you know, it just resonates with me how happy, like the time, captured a great time in my life when I was just a kid. I was with my mom and dad, you know what I mean? It's the soundtrack of my childhood. I remember that song very, very delightfully.
I agree because I can sense that you had a very good childhood.
Thank you so much. Yes, Emont, yes.
Okay.
So much, I appreciate that.
Okay, so you moved to Emont, right?
Yes, ma'am. From Umtata. I was born in Umtata.
You know, what was the transition like? Were you excited?
I was this little kid. I mean, I moved there when I was like 9. So, and my parents had me very late. People used to think my dad is my grandfather. My dad had me like at 48. My mom was like 46, so they were really late, you know, older at the time. So by the time we were moving, they were retired. Like they were in their 50s, like 9 years old. So we moved to Emont, East London, in a small little town called Gumubi. Predominantly like a lot of white people, like the coast. So I come from Umtata, which is predominantly black people. So I was introduced to, you know, my people and my culture very vividly in Umtata, and then I moved to the coast, and there's all these white people. So I was just a kid, man. I was like, hey,
okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So talking about you being a kid, right? When did you fall in love with writing as a kid?
Yeah, I was about 14 years old. I wrote poetry a lot. I started poetry.
I think I understand why you started with poetry because, oh my god,
I still write poetry.
Well spoken.
I write poetry still. I just don't put it out there.
Put it out there.
I just write for myself.
Okay. And going from writing poetry to dropping your first album.
Yes, ma'am.
What did that take? Because you know people look at you and they think you have a very long catalog.
Wow,
and I love it. You have a very long catalog.
I actually appreciate that.
Like,
to see that.
I think because also I listen to your music, so hence I understand that you have a very. We're gonna get into it, man. You have a. This is excluding the features.
You're actually the first person who peeps that. Like I've been to a lot of interviews and a lot of. You know what I mean? And people, they see the lyricism thing. They see, you're one of the legends of Pretoria, whatever. They see all of that, but most don't know that my catalog is quite long.
You have a lot of music.
Thank you so much.
And I respect that because it also shows your talent. It also shows your diversity. It also shows how versatile you can get.
Wow.
You know?
That's another quality.
Yeah, like
a lot of people don't see. Thank you.
I listen to your music, nigga.
It could be in
a box, and then
a lot of people think I'm just
he's a deep rapper, and there's songs where you actually very playful.
Wow.
Like
shut up.
There's songs where you
she knows what's up. Can I consume the devil's nectar?
You can consume the devil's nectar. You can consume the devil's nectar. So, what did it take for you to drop your first album? Because I can anticipate that it took that first drop for you to be able to say, I can drop another and another and another.
How do you know this? This mommy did research of. How does she know these things, dog? Here, man. Juju. If there's juju in this
I don't do juju, and I told you I don't do juju.
You don't mess.
No.
If you have juju things.
We're doing the Lord's work. We're doing the Lord's work.
Because you're just saying things that most people wouldn't know. But
yeah, but I think also it would take.
yeah, like my album. I mean, I hooked up with Cap City Records in 2012, but my album only dropped in 2016. So there was a long dry spell where I didn't drop my first album. I had projects before then. I had a project called Mind Over Matter LP. I had a project called the Blue Matter mixtape. Was mixtapes. And then my first album is entitled The Devil's Playground. I dropped that in 2016. A lot of people didn't understand the name, but I took the name after my mother. My mother said, because I remember when I was speaking to my mother, and I said, Mom, I'm from Mama, you're from the finance again.
And your mom is like,
you're from the Gauteng. That's so translation in Gauteng, that's Devil's Playground. But you know, it's so much also deeper than that. You know, the industry is very dark. It's a very dark place, and there's a very few lights that are left. You know, people that represent light. And some of them have passed on.
Yeah.
You know, so there was a reason why I called it The Devil's Playground. That was my first album in 2016. Okay. But it was a long process
before you actually got there, right? Now, being and knowing that the industry can get very dark, what was your reception when you dropped your album, and your reception when you were coming up? Did you have support? Apart from Cap City Records, did you have?
I think.
Or did you feel supported?
My album did better than I anticipated because of a song called Soaked in Bleach that I dropped, and a song called. It's not my favorite album, my first album, but it had some songs that really signified me and solidified me in a way. Like Soaked in Bleach, Forgiven, This Can Be Life, Move Over. You know, there was some songs that really hit. But I think it was moderately received. Yeah.
Now, did you ever somewhat feel angry or frustrated when you were on the come up? Because I think we automatically assume that when you're on the come up and you're good, everybody will receive you well. But what were some of the frustrations that you faced?
I was actually having a conversation with Jay Jody now. You know Jay Jody. He was just saying to me, I'm like me and I don't like comparisons when people compare me to people. It's like me and Kendrick and
a lot of people compare you to
Cole and these artsy rappers. We in the same boat. I'm like, and then he said, unfortunately, South Africa doesn't understand that yet, and it just made me think like maybe I'm the type of artist that SA doesn't understand. Like when I mean SA, I'm talking about the casual fan. I'm not talking about like my hardcore people that really love my music. I'm talking about like the casual fan. They maybe not understand that yet, and there'll be a time when they'll understand it. So I've always moved like that. Like just make music. Eventually, when it's supposed to hit, it will hit. Some songs have hit. I mean, my biggest song is called Dear God. That's still. I never thought that song would be as big as it was.
From myself.
Yeah, so it's that. So, and I wasn't trying to make no single. I was just venting.
I like that, and also with your, I love how you are an actor as well in your music. Your delivery, the conversations, we're gonna get into those and the trilogy. Yeah. The conversations you had with your hands.
No, it's not. No, I'm a very shy fella. I have a lady and I'm shy. I just like to hug her and just tell her.
And you like to cuddle. Oh.
Sometimes. No, do you know what upsets me? Like rap has lied to so many young people. Rap makes love seem like it's a wrong thing and it's bad.
Or it's like
and you must just have bitches. You must have 15 bitches. It's okay to love somebody.
I love that.
It's okay to be in a relationship and just and celebrate love. You know what I mean? It's okay. Don't let rap lie to you.
Let's get into your very long catalog. What were you going through when you made Cold Waters?
Okay, the first one was it's like I've always looked at myself as a pretty balanced artist. But it was a trilogy. I was just trying to tell a story about my own love life, interwoven with
the different. And I think that is so exceptional. Because you know what artists do? They will do a whole entire love song and love story in one album. You did it in 3 different albums.
Yeah, I want to tie it.
The songs are one after each other, so it's like part 1, part 2, part 3.
Yeah. I was just trying to do something different.
Are you on crack?
Pardon?
Are you on crack?
I don't.
Because how do you think about that?
I don't take this tag. I mean,
how do you think about? When I was listening to it, at first I was like, okay, but these songs in the middle, when I listen to the first Cold Waters, I'm like, what happens with the story? Where does it end?
Yes. Yeah. It ends with the.
Then the second one came in your other album, and I was like, this nigga done got me fucked up. Now I have to wait for the finale, and I have to wait a year. That's exceptional.
I appreciate that you listen in detail. That's a rare thing. That's a very rare thing. And I think even artists like Kendrick, like I know I'm listening to the Kendrick album now, and you can't listen to that album in one go. You have to listen
Pace
to it
yourself
5 times or 3, 7, 8 times. So I appreciate that you're actually a detailed listener. Yeah, man. I was just trying to, like my idol is Bruce Lee. And he had a concept about water and how water can be flexible and how water can, be as hard as rock and penetrate rock, but also be as soft as a feather. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to exhibit all of these different things and be like water. The whole album is based on water. Like, be water, be able to adapt, be able to shift,
different
be able
modes,
to strike when you need to strike, be able to be calm when you need to be calm. And at the same time, I'm speaking about this interwoven love story.
We're gonna go into it.
Who are your idols become your idols?
It's not about me, it's about you.
Dog.
We're not putting me on blast here. Also. But when was that solidified for you? Because I think also that's when you started to realize that your idols are also human. You can be not better, but you can be as good as or even greater than your idols, and that was the message I got from listening to that. So what moment solidified that for you?
I know I'm gonna sound arrogant. I've always believed I'm great, man. I've always believed. I just always have believed that. I always believed that it may not be, a situation that resonates with people now, or resonates with people later. But I've just always had that. Since I was a kid, since I was 7, 8, I always believed that.
You knew.
You've been new. There's something different about me. So, I've always moved in accordance to that. So whenever I feel, I've always obviously looked up to people. I mean, when I first came, I looked up to Mans, and when I reached out to Mans, Mans came through was such
such a cool gent,
such a dope,
very cool.
This is 08. This is like we on fire, we on fire.
Like,
you know what I mean? And he pulled up and he came with my mixtape and him and Tito. You know what I'm saying? So I always looked up to fellas. I looked up to Stogie, and now for Stogie to be like, yo, you one of the best, my home. That means a lot. Zabs.
And I saw you on Freestyle Friday too, and I was like,
shout out. And and having people like Zabs who I grew up listening to my album, that's a major thing. But at the same time, I've always, understood that I have to play my role. That my role is there's something I have to say, and South Africa needs to hear it. So I'm in a very privileged place. I'm blessed to be where I am.
Listen, God has blessed the guy blessed.
Thank you.
When did you feel that you graduated and have made it? Because I feel like success means has so many different definitions for each of us. When was that for you?
I don't look at myself as made it, but I understand that when people started tattooing my brand on that,
bro,
that was I never thought that would happen. I performed in some of the biggest events and shows, performed and recorded with some of the greatest artists in South Africa. So I've done it.
You've acted in some of the biggest shows as well. People don't know.
I've done quite a lot, but I never want to look at myself as like, yeah, I'm here now. I'm not. There's still so much to do. But I'm very grateful for what I've accomplished so far.
That's pretty dope. You are a very spiritual man. Yeah?
This is the truth. This is the truth.
You're very spiritual. You're very spiritual.
Mommy, don't laugh.
What?
You're shooting a show. I'm shooting.
You're doing this on purpose.
Now these niggas have to edit.
You do. They mustn't edit it out. But what influence has growing up in the church been for you, and what has the spirit of the tongue done for your life?
I used to always, like I said, say I'm the greatest, and now when I see people say that all the time, so many, like if I'm talking about my core fan base, the tattoo my brand on them, I never thought that would really make me realize that there's power in the tongue. People saying my music saved them from killing themselves, and some people in ICU, like it hits, it's different, it's really different. So But the God has always been a source, man, because I come up with a mother that is a prayerful woman, a very strong, prayerful woman, and she raised us in it. So it was inevitable for me to be spiritual.
Have you ever felt, because life is a journey.
This is true.
And people always assume just because you're a very spiritual person, you're always on point, everything is always right, you will pray every day, you know what I'm saying? But have you ever felt spiritually lost or ever felt spiritually neglected?
But I'm saying that on the lyrics, must.
Yeah,
you took my lyrics and now you put the lyrics on the question.
No.
That's the lyrics, dog.
But my thing is,
that's the lyrics, Holmes.
For people that didn't take time like me to listen, I really want to know.
I say on Hallelujah, what do I say? I say, sometimes I feel the disconnect because of the sin I inject, because of the lust I regress, but for your love I'm a mess. So hallelujah, praises be to God, eternally blessed. I'm a very lustful man. I've said that in the music, and that's sometimes has been a fight with me. So as much as you're spiritual, you do have things that
those moments.
You know what I'm saying? But we get better every day. We try to be better men and better women every day.
Speaking of being a better man.
Yes, ma'am.
There's sometimes life will throw things at you, né? Cold water's eternal love.
Yes, ma'am.
Who was your first heartbreak?
I don't remember that, mommy, though.
I'm not laughing. Oh my god.
I don't know. No, I'm joking. Like,
let's move.
I think it was still in the Eastern Cape. I was 18. Come on, we were little niggas. But every little nigga had, these females, like they would come. And we in high school, they come get picked up by these guys with cars. We didn't have no cars. We were just little niggas, dog. That's come on, dog. Women mature and they'll be dating a guy that's 27. You 18. What? I don't have a chance. He's 27. He's got a job. He's doing things. He's got a job. He works at the telecom, whatever.
Also, what is he doing at high schools?
Nobody.
But yeah, I get it. I get my still. Anyway,
yeah,
moving right along.
Come on.
Moving right along, right? So, Cold Waters is, a trilogy of forbidden love, right?
Yes,
I want us to break it down word for word. Part 1, the ones that I listened to, you and me found love. Very sweet.
Okay.
And there's a conversation where you have we found love.
Yes, ma'am.
It's like a conversation between you and the girl.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? It's like
yes.
Yeah, and you. Is it your current woman?
No, I'm playing. Remember, I'm playing characters. It's music.
Yeah. Oh,
no,
okay.
My current woman,
I caught you there.
My current, I'm happy.
Okay.
I just want to snuggle and I want to put a child in her.
That's nice.
I want to
marry her first.
I want to shoot up the club.
But marry her first.
I want to shoot up the club.
Yes.
Do you know what shoot up the club means?
What does it mean?
Shoot up the club means when you're having coitus, you're having sexual relations with somebody, and you're not using any protection, and then you decide, oh, I'm about to ejaculate on this person, so you're shooting up the club.
Like trigger happy.
Oh, the club is shut up. Let's shut up.
Like trigger happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot up the club with shoot up the
rappers. Oh my god. I'm thinking so. Part 1.
Yeah.
Would you say part 1, you and we found love, it was like more of the blame game and saying, yeah, you fucked up, I fucked up, but listen, let's be together.
You is basically about me and the woman I'm cheating on my girl with, and we falling in love with each other, and so I thought, but she decides to stick with the person that she's with, and then I'm angry. I'm saying, fuck you, I thought we were going to do this.
I hope you learned your lesson.
This music, who said it's real?
Yeah, it's real. It's very real. With you.
It's music.
It's a very real shame. Part 2. I'll let the sun slide, but it's very real with you. It's very, very real. Part 2, over you and confide. I think one thing I want to know as a listener.
Yes, ma'am.
How important is it for a man to take accountability?
It's very important for a man to take. This conversation is deep, man, because there's a part of me that doesn't believe in monogamy, but believes in love. I believe in love. I don't necessarily believe in monogamy. I don't think human beings or males we're meant to be with one person for the rest of the life. I don't believe that, but I do believe in love, and love is sacrificial. When you find someone that you truly connect with on a deep spiritual level, you want to sacrifice these things. So I do not want to hurt this person, so therefore I will put away whatever weak moments I may have and lock them away and focus on this person and build with them and love them and appreciate them. I believe in love. But monogamy is a concept. Monogamy is one man for one woman, and I don't necessarily think it's natural, but it's necessary. I understand why it's there, but I don't think it's natural. So what was the question?
Accountability as a man.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Sometimes I flow.
Yeah, but it also, I think it ties into my question as well, because you said it's very important to take accountability because you believe in love. Even though you don't believe in monogamy, but you...
I think it's...
Because you love someone,
necessary.
you will compromise.
I think it's necessary.
I
think it's necessary, but I don't think it's natural. I think it's necessary.
Why don't you think monogamy is necessary?
I think it's necessary.
Okay. Why don't you believe in monogamy?
I don't think it's natural. I think it's necessary.
Okay.
I don't think it's a natural thing, but I think it's very necessary. Family structure, your kids growing up in a proper environment,
with that support
more,
and...
You know what I'm saying? More like more structure and more discipline, and it just works. It works.
Also,
well.
you had that.
What did I have? Yeah.
You had that.
But if I were to find out, my father was my role model. I love my father to death. If I were to find out my father he was dipping out on my mom, I wouldn't be like, Papa, how could you do that to my mom? I understand. You feel me? No, it's like I get it. Like I'm not gonna judge my dad.
Yeah, because also your dad is a person.
I love my father. I love my father immensely because he protected us from that. If he ever did that,
he respected you as well.
He respected us. He respected my mother. So, but I wouldn't be shocked if I knew that he had some dipperoos. I'm not gonna now be shocked. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But this is a conversation for another day.
Uncensored, I love.
Do you believe in monogamy, madam?
It's not about me. I believe in monogamy.
Yeah,
but it's not about me.
Of course you believe.
I'm a hopeless romantic. Like I want the happily ever after.
No.
Yes.
And then the prince came and he took me on a horse and then we went to the
my God! Why are you this person? Why are you this person?
Ain't nothing wrong with that, mom. Do your thing. I'm not mad at you.
Up for you and clothes. What in your life today are you practicing or have you learned from what you went through in your trilogy?
I'm trying to be more empathetic. Empathetic is putting yourself in the other person's shoes. So I'm trying to be a better man. I'm trying to be a better boyfriend. I'm trying to be a better brother. I'm trying to understand if I was in this place and I'm doing this, would I like this? I'm just trying to.
How would that make you feel?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's how it goes.
I like that. I want to know, is the whole trilogy with one woman where you went all through those things with, or was it with different women where you compressed it into?
So you just decided this is the truth?
No, I'm just asking. asking.
You just decided that.
That's why I'm asking.
This is facts.
No.
And this nigga just.
We both know it's facts. But I'm asking.
I'm a very shy fella. I'm so shy.
The thing about you, you never lie in your lyrics. You never lie in your lyrics. You will not lie, and you don't make up stories in your lyrics.
You say that.
But
I don't know why you.
But back to my question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it one woman or is it multiple experiences compressed into one?
It's multiple experiences compressed into
I figured.
I took different experiences.
I figured. That was smart of you, though.
I knew people would relate to it, and a lot of people related to you. That's a private.
It's also like it has a star on the playlist.
Yeah, a lot of people related to that.
I also like We Found Love.
Thank you so much.
Because I think as a woman I can relate to it. I can relate to the emotions that
you've been put through the shit. You need to love black men. You must love black men and appreciate us. We go through so much pain, so much heartache, and we need to be loved and respected. We go through so much.
You see, you are such a gentleman. Like you seem like such a gentleman. Even like my interactions with you, like you're respectful. You know, you're very communicative. Like you're a gentleman, right? So now, what legacy would you want to leave? Because I don't think you're just dropping all this music for no reason. I don't think you're telling all these stories for no reason. What legacy would you want to leave behind?
You know, P.O. 10 years ago would have said, I want to be the greatest of all time.
But you
I
are.
want to be remembered as the greatest of all time. I want to be, you know, put up in the pet. Like, I want people to remember that I gave my everything to this, and I want to inspire young kids to also be great. And, you know, that was. Now I just want to be remembered as a nice guy.
You are a nice guy, James. Like,
I don't care about that other shit.
You're a very nice guy.
I'm in a space in my life where I'm just realizing it's important that the art will always be an extension of self, and the art is an extension of me and everything I've spoken about. I mean, when I wrote Dear God, I was in a dark place. I was in a very, I was frustrated, I was angry, I was in a dark place. So when I wrote Hallelujah, it was like, thank you God.
Breathe.
Different space. I want to go back there. So. And part of the frustrations of Dear God was like, why won't you recognize? Why won't you realize I'm great? Why won't you realize you know, it's that. And, you know, I'm not there anymore. I just want to remember. There's a guy who was just like, you know, people must laugh and just have fun and just a nice guy.
Yeah, this whole interview has shown how much of a nice guy you are.
It's not that deep.
Laugh a little here and there.
It's not that deep.
Would you say that your family sort of influenced why you want to be a nice guy? Did they create a sense of community for you?
My father was the nicest guy ever. It frustrated my mother a lot of times. Because my mother and my father fought over these things. My father was too nice. He drive ladies to spa, help them. Why? You see? So those things made my family.
You grew up in a proper Xhosa family.
I did. I did.
You really did. I love that for you because you have so many tales to tell. You know, so many. Like, it's fun. It's not like a. I don't want to think about my childhood. I don't want to think about that. You had your fair share of difficulties.
I was blessed. I had 5 brothers and sisters. I come from a huge family, so I'm very blessed. I'm a huge.
And you seem very close to them as well.
Yeah, my father. You know, shout out to my cousin Ubuntu. She's on Generation Legacy. She's playing Nonke. She's doing well right now. She's kidding. I have a very close knit family, man. There's a lot of us because my father had like 10 siblings. And they all had kids.
And now you all are like, oh, that's nice.
That's why I don't want too many kids with my own woman in my life. Because I come from, 2 is cool. I don't need to have 18 kids. Because I come from a huge family. Yes, ma'am.
That's good. So, I don't want to go into the type of rap.
Do you smoke marijuana?
No, I don't smoke marijuana.
That's pretty cool. Why don't you smoke marijuana?
I have anxiety.
You have anxiety, you say?
I have anxiety.
So when you... So wait.
Oh my god!
So marijuana makes you have anxiety?
No. I naturally have anxiety.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
marijuana makes me very paranoid and it heightens my anxiety.
Heightens anxiety. I hate it. I'm very random fella. I just wanted to find out if you smoke marijuana.
Do I look like I smoke marijuana?
No. I just like to ask people random questions to throw them off.
Okay. All right. Back to me being the interviewer. You know, I don't want to go into the type of rapper that you are because you've been in the game for so many years. People know the type of rapper that you are, and your core fans know that you've been credited wherever it's been shoot, right? Do you think that with indie, because I believe that you also fall part of the indie space, would you say that there's more opportunities now than there were when you were growing, or is it better maybe for the people that want to grow now?
It's definitely growth, man. I mean, you see artists with cult followings that are doing extremely well. Shout out to A-Reese. A-Reese's cult followings. So those ones. Yeah.
They will fight you.
It's beautiful to see that because it means that so many other young kids can come in now and create their own thing and build their own fan bases and not be dependent on Channel O or MTV or TV or whatever. Now there's a direct link to the fans, and you just speak to the fans, and if they fuck with you and they fuck with your energy, they grow with you and they love you no matter what. It's a beautiful space to be in, and it's beautiful to see that because we come from a space where there wasn't It wasn't a thing. You had to go through labels and either be signed or not signed. It was different.
But I think you had the privilege of having your brothers being Envy and Les, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's where Lost Diamonds comes in.
Yes, ma'am.
So would you say that because you sound like a very well-informed person, when you listen to Lost Diamonds, there's historic references of historic features in our South African history, right? Do you read a lot? One. Two, did that sense of belonging make it easier for you to express yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we all want to belong, and every human being wants to belong. This nigga behind the mic behind the camera wants to belong. That nigga right there, he wants to belong. You want to belong.
Definitely.
He wants to belong. Everybody wants to belong. So yeah, no, I think because Cap City is actually the first city that embraced me musically. So I with my brothers, we sharpened steel, and we worked together, and it just became better and better. And everybody has their own lane, but we became better and better because we're very critical of the art and the craft on itself. But yeah, it definitely did. Definitely did.
It was when I was digging up some dirt on you.
I don't have dirt. I serve
not dirt, but like I have to do research on you because I feel like
I have no dirt.
I don't want to ask you. Where did
I
you
will
get
never trend for bullshit. There's people that trend for bullshit.
Yeah. Like when I was like researching on you, because I don't want to ask you where you got your name. Like honestly.
I used to go by poet because I wrote poetry. I was 16 years old. I said, Asian fan. I had a very close friend of mine. He said, I actually want to start rapping. I've been listening to all these rap niggas. Pac, Tupac, Snoop, all these guys. I want to actually rap. What would I call myself? Why don't you just call yourself poet? But because you write poetry, right? But dog, poet really? Maybe it can be an acronym. P.O.E.T. So passion over everything. We were kids. So, as I
and
grew
at that
up,
time it's like,
yeah,
this is so cool.
exactly. As we grew up, I remember I had a show at college, and there was a guy, it was a Valentine's show. There was a guy who was introducing all these rappers, and I come through. He's like, "Yo, guys, ladies, you got a guy here. He's a poet. He's gonna come serenade you with words and romance." And I'm coming there talking my rap stuff. So I was like, okay, his name is Poet, yeah. So I was like, okay, this is the day I need to change my name because it's misleading people. I'm not coming here to serenade you with poems. I'm here to actually rap. So I just dropped the P, the O to whatever, and just P.O.
Okay.
For marketing reasons.
I didn't know that you went to TUT.
I went to TUT. This is true.
And you are a qualified actor.
This is true. This is the truth. Yes.
So I was like. It was like a raised eyebrow moment for me. I'm like, how?
Yeah, like I love acting, man. I really love acting. I think I'm gonna be acting forever. I'm not gonna be rapping forever.
I can't wait to see you.
I think I probably have 3 more years in rap and then I'm out. But acting, I'll be acting.
Don't do that to us as hip hop lovers.
So you want Jay-Z to be rapping till he's 67? Will you listen to?
We're not talking about Jay-Z. We're talking about you.
Oh, are you gonna listen to Nas?
I can't. You know what my thing is?
Will you listen to Eminem when he's 57?
Can I tell you what my thing is, ne?
Yes or no? Are you gonna listen to Nas when he's 59? Yes or no?
No.
Yeah, man. Like I think when I get to a place where I think I've said it, I've said a lot.
Then you're done.
I've said a lot.
Yeah.
When I get to a place, I think now the only thing next will probably be when I have a child on the way. Then I feel like I
then
have
you feel like,
to say.
okay,
I
got it.
Now, I got nothing else to say. After this Pelele album, I'm gonna chill a bit and focus on other things.
Nah. Shout out to you.
Thank you. Shout out to you too, man.
Thank you. One last one. How important is self-validation to you? Because earlier on, we were talking about like journeys and.
Do you like hoes?
Hoes.
Yeah. Remember, I like these questions where I just throw questions at you and throw you off.
When you say, I need context.
Men that are like loose.
No.
Do you like women that are loose? So you judge human beings. No, I'm trying to dig deep in you.
Okay.
And find out the kind of person. So you judge people because of the things that they go through in life.
No. I believe that people have the right to make choices that they want.
Yes, ma'am.
So whether you're female or male, as long as those choices do not harm other people.
That's true. And said, I used to be a hoe. I've slept with 592 women, but I'm changing my life. and I'm in love with you right now. Will we do this thing, or will you reject it?
I would give him the opportunity. I would give him the opportunity for me to see him, to see the type of person that he is, because a person can say they're A whereas they're B. So if I can see with your actions that you are a changed person, then it's a completely different perspective.
That's a very smart answer. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, carry on.
Yeah, clever. Magbamba. How important is self-validation?
How important is self-validation? It's very important, I think, but it also comes from family. There's so many people that are broken. So many people that are going through so much in life that they need social media and likes and clicks to feel validated because they have holes. And some people get into relationship to fill those holes. But the most important thing is to love yourself. And when you love yourself, nothing else is going to destroy you. Nothing else will harm you because you know you are in tune with self. And when you're in tune with self, you're in tune with God. And because God is an internal part of you. And if you tap in there, you're gone. You know what I'm saying? So self-validation is very important because it's when you're a happy human being by yourself, you're gonna attract so much. You're gonna attract the right partner. You're gonna attract the right energies around you. But if you're not happy, you're gonna attract plugs of people to fill you, and that may not be good for you.
It might do more harm than good.
Exactly. So self-validation is very important.
The last one, I've thoroughly enjoyed this interview. The last one.
Even me, dog. Put it there, Holmes. Look at God up. Yeah, I'm a clown, dog. I like laughing.
So, you collaborated on Matthew, ne?
Matthew 22, verse 14 with Chad the Dawn.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So now you're working on.
One,
you gave me an exclusive.
23.
Yes. And then there's.
So me and Chad, because we were both very spiritual guys. He's a very nice guy. He's a very cool guy, man. Also, sometimes feels like he doesn't get his just due. I mean, there wouldn't be no Costa Titch without Chad.
Really? I didn't know that.
There wouldn't be. Like, Chad is the first, white boy, Mutswako, hip hop.
I remember that song.
Chad. So there wouldn't be. He kind of opened up the gates in hip hop for the white guys to come through and flex. So, I respect him for that, man. And he doesn't really get his just due. A lot of people don't really. And that sometimes frustrates him. But he's also a very spiritual guy. He's a very godly guy. So we got together on that. We have these EPs that are based on scriptures or certain scriptures.
So there's that, and now there's song coming through. You mentioned Spelele.
That's that album. That's my solo album. That's gonna be my sixth solo album. That album, that album. That's the best album
you've ever made.
In my life.
So that's Where To From Here.
And it's narrated. Yeah, it's narrated. It's after that's my first name. So it's narrated by my mother. And me and my mother during December because when I'm at home I wake up early in the morning. My mother also wakes up early like 5, 6, and we just have these long conversations, and she'd tell me about her life and how she grew up, spirituality, what happened, how she met my father, how her mother was a prayerful woman and there were demonic attacks in her life, and she'd tell me all these stories of being a nurse and helping people who were decapitated. And so I just started recording my mother without her noticing on my phone. We just recording. And those conversations that I recorded are going to be like interwoven.
You did that on Under the Sun as well with your sister, right?
Yeah, but I asked her to do that.
Okay.
My mother was just, when you're speaking passionately and somebody just records you. So yeah,
that's beautiful.
It's gonna be incredible.
Before I let you go, we're gonna play a game, ne?
Are we playing games?
Yes, we're playing games.
Are these games? Do they have anything to do with Lucifer's oil?
No. No. These are
the oil of Lucifer. The devil's nectar. Beelzebub.
I'm caught with you. Oh my God.
The juice of Beelzebub. Umcholi. Ikhanqa likamcholi.
I can't even make this shit up. Like.
Don't you know what ikhanqa likamcholi? You consuming it?
Oh my God. Yeah. We're playing against that verse.
Yes,
so you need to give me the title. These are your songs. These are lyrics from your songs.
Okay.
You need to give me your title.
I forget my lyrics, bro.
The noise. This is a favorite. Two Step, Who's Back? I'm Bruce Banner.
We just dropped this now, our dog. This
Give me the title.
It's the smoke with Les and Deja Vu.
Yes. Okay, this one is a bit.
If you said like maybe 5 years.
This one is a favorite of mine. They gave me heart with a bit of ice. You gave me death with a bit of light.
Well, that's my biggest song. You making obvious stuff. That's Dear God. That's Dear God.
Another fave.
Come on, test me, bro.
We need a mansion, something dope. Maybe a camping. Maybe go camping. Love don't mean shit if both of us broke.
Wait,
yeah, clever.
I know, but it's with Ray Charles. It's featuring Ray Charles. Wait.
Clever.
Wait. Fuck.
Clever.
No, wait.
Motini.
Fuck. Please tell me what the song is.
I can't. You need to tell me what the title is. That's the game. Let me read it again. And it's such a, like, you know the song, dog.
It's featuring Ray Charles.
Yes, you know the song. We need a mansion, something dope. Maybe go camping. Love don't mean shit if we both broke.
Mommy, please.
I even rapped it for you.
I forgot the name. It's gone.
I rapped it for you.
Don't mean the thing. What is it?
I rapped it for you.
Rap it again.
I rapped it for you. The answer's in my sentence. I rapped it for you.
Oh, for you. Yeah, it's called For You.
Clever.
Nah, you see.
Yeah, make it hard.
I have a lot of songs.
Yeah, make it hard.
I've got a lot of songs. I have a lot of music. Sometimes you forget.
Where can people follow you?
People can follow me at p.o_SA. And that's on Instagram and Twitter. And they can also follow me on Facebook at PDOTO. They can also follow me on my personal page on Facebook. It's PDOTO space Facebook. Follow me, guys.
I don't know why you are this person. I can't with you. Oh my god. I can't even.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is P.O.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Such a fun show. And all the best.
It's been an honor and a privilege to finally have you. I remember I tweeted you in 2018 and I'm just like, when?
I don't remember that.
One day, I'll tag you when the episode drops. I'll be like, when?
Will you tag me when the episode drops?
I'll tag you on the tweet when the episode drops.
Yes, ma'am.
So that you know.
I'm a little bit intoxicated, but I'm gonna drive now. And thank you so much. Oh, peace, guys. Don't drink and consume. Drink water.
Oh, thank you so much for pulling through. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for yet another episode of the Drop Hip Hop Uncensored. Kali music and Aaron Simpson. You know I'm twice as nice and I'm a stronger version of Jim. This is hip hop. Hip hop is alive. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms. The Drop Uncensored on Twitter and Instagram. Do email us at thedropuncensored@gmail.com if you have any rising stars or shining stars in the game. From my heart to yours, it is all love. Until next time, mahalo everybody. Peace.